Okie dokie. All right, Eddie here. All right, so this is for the class ENL 125 English for Global Exploration. All right, so yeah, so in this video, this is part 2 of the video. I'm going to teach you how to write an IELTS-based opinion essay, and we're using it's a method that I didn't come up with, but yeah, I think it's a really good process. And so it's taken from it's a website called IELTS Advantage, where they have tutorials on how to prepare students to take the IELTS test. It's a really good process. So for an IELTS-based opinion essay, it's like an 11-step process on how to write a 4-paragraph IELTS-based opinion essay with at least 250 words. All right, so let's get started here. Okay. All right, so the introductory paragraph. So the introductory paragraph, it's actually the most important part of this essay. So once you finish your introductory paragraph, the rest of the essay should flow, be very easy to complete. Okay, so this is a sample prompt that you may be given if you take the IELTS test. So it says, students are becoming more and more reliant on the internet. While the internet is convenient, it has many negative effects, and its use for educational purposes should be restricted. How far do you agree with this statement? Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples for your own knowledge or experience. Okay, so this is a sample question you may be given. There are about 5 different essay types for when you take the IELTS test, but the opinion one, it's the most prevalent one. It's one that you'll get most commonly. But we'll teach in subsequent videos. We'll teach you some of the other essay types on how to complete those. But this one right here, it's about the opinion essay. All right. Okay. So let's keep going here. All right. So IELTS-based opinion essay should have 4 paragraphs, and the first paragraph is the introductory paragraph. This paragraph should have the following sentences. All right. So again, for the for task 2 for IELTS, you have to write at least 250 words. All right. And then the first paragraph, 3 sentences. So you have the paraphrase question, thesis statement, outline statement. Okay. So again, once you finish with your first paragraph, the rest of the essay just flows very easy. Okay. So if you follow what I'm promoting here today, and by promoting this, you know what I get in return? Nothing. Okay. Well, in terms of I'm not nothing. All my students they will develop their writing skills. But what I'm talking about, the IELTS Advantage, it's not something that I own, but it's something I came across, and I think it's a really great method. Okay, so the first sentence, paraphrase question. So all you're doing is you're taking this right here, this question here, and you're paraphrasing it into your own words. Very simple. Okay, then number 2, thesis statement. Okay, so this is where you state what your essay is going to be about. So what you want to do to make it easier, so again, what you want to do is you want to make this easier for the assessor, the person who's going to be checking your essay, to figure out what you're talking about and to give you good grades. That's really what you're looking for. And so the first step is to let the assessor know exactly what you're talking about. So if you begin your thesis statement by saying, this essay agrees with the idea that, or this essay disagrees with the idea that, so you're letting the assessor know exactly, okay guys, this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about. So again, use this as a starter for that. Okay, and then the third sentence, outline statement. Okay, so this is where you introduce your topic sentences for body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. So let's go through an example here. So here's the introductory paragraph. Okay, so I'll read it first. So it is argued that the internet is beneficial for teaching and learning because there is so much information available, while others believe that the internet can be harmful to students. This essay agrees with the idea that the internet is beneficial for students to develop their academic skills. First, students can have access to information much more easily, and second, the internet can be a vital source to develop an individual's research skills. Okay, so then for your first sentence, that's your paraphrase question. So you're just paraphrasing the prompt that you're given. And so I would highly recommend don't use I or my in the first few paragraphs. If you want to use I or my, use that in your concluding paragraph. All right. So I advocate using passive speech. Okay. So you see here where it says it is argued that. Okay, so you want to make sure that you use that. All right. Okay, or you use something similar to that. Okay. All right, and then your second sentence. This is where you have your thesis statement. So see here where it says this essay agrees with the idea that. So use that. Either say this essay agrees with the idea that, or this essay disagrees with the idea that. So that lets the assessor know right up front exactly what you're going to be talking about, and then that way then the assessor can start working on other parts of your essay on how to grade you. Okay, and then the last sentence here. This is where you introduce. So here where it says first, blah blah blah. So this is where it says students can have access to information much more easily. This is where you're introducing your topic sentence for body paragraph 1, and then second, the internet can be a vital source to develop an individual's research skills. This is where you introduce your topic sentence for body paragraph 2. All right. So then by the time you finish with your introductory paragraph, you're gonna know exactly what you're gonna write, and the rest of your essay should go very quickly, and you'll write it effectively. All right. Okay. So now we go to body paragraph 1. So we now need to write our supporting paragraphs for agree or disagree essay. So the great thing about this is for the opinion essay, body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, they have the exact same structure. So topic sentence, explanation, example. So topic sentence, well, you've already introduced it. See, you introduced it here. Okay. So then your first your topic sentence would be students can have access to information much more easily. All right. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to have a word for word. So if you introduce it into your introductory paragraph, you don't want to have a word for your body paragraph, but you want to have the same idea. Okay. Explanation. So all this is just an expansion. You're giving more information about your topic sentence. All right. And then the last sentence, example. So you just say, for example, and then blah blah blah. So let's give you an example here. Body paragraph 1. Of course, students will be able to obtain the information they need from various sources and in various locations. Furthermore, okay, so furthermore, this is where you're adding more information. Okay, furthermore, for many of their university courses, students nowadays may be required to utilize online media library but complete their homework assignments. Then, of course, online media will be made available from your university's computer lab or library. So this is the example, okay? But can also be assessed from a student's very own computer or mobile phone. Okay, very simple. Now we go to body paragraph 2, and again, it's going to have the same exact structure. So again, for topic sentence 1, we go back to the introductory paragraph here. We've already introduced it, so it's going to be right here where it says second. So the internet can be a vital source to develop an individual's research skills. That's going to be your topic sentence for body paragraph 2. But again, make sure it's not word for word. So just paraphrase it, change up the words a little bit, and you should be fine. Okay. And then explanation. Again, this is where you expand on the topic there. Okay. And then lastly, an example. So here's of what a body paragraph 2 should look like. So second of all, the internet can be a vital source to develop an individual's research skills. Research is an area that is very important to develop and master, as it may be a prerequisite for academic courses a student may be required to enroll in. So this right here, this is the explanation because it's giving more information about the topic of research. Okay. And lastly, for your example, a perfect example, of this would be citing references, paraphrasing, and avoiding plagiarism. Okay, so even though this is the beginning of the term plagiarism, if you're not familiar with this, if you're very familiar with this, I'm a little concerned. Okay, but yeah, so plagiarism, it just means when you copy someone's idea but you don't give credit. Okay, so this is something you don't want to do. If you use someone else's idea, like today. I'm using the structure of this essay. I refer to as the IELTS Advantage method because I've already gotten permission from the website IELTS Advantage to use their idea. Actually, I contacted them when I was doing my PhD dissertation, and I asked permission if I could use it, and they go, "Oh, sure, wonderful." And then and then I asked, "Do you have a name for it?" And they didn't really have a name, so I said, "Hey, is it okay if I call it the IELTS Advantage method?" and they agreed to that. Okay, so if I would have used their idea in my PhD without crediting them, I would have been in big trouble. Okay, but however, I did. Okay, as I am today, I'm crediting them. So yeah, so it's okay to use someone else's idea. It's just you want to give them credit. Okay. Lastly is the concluding paragraph. So we now need to write our concluding paragraph for our agree and disagree essay. Okay, so this one right here, 2 sentences. However, sometimes I'll write this. I'll combine these into 1 sentence. But yeah, so you have the summary of your main points. So these are usually your topic sentences in your body paragraphs, and then you state your opinion. So again, if you want to use I or my, this is the essay to use it in. I would advise against using I or my in your, especially not in your introductory paragraph. Try to use passive speech, like it is argued that, or it is believed that. So yeah, we use a lot of passive speech in academic writing. Okay, so let's go through some examples here. Okay, so in conclusion, the internet is beneficial for students to develop their academic skills based on the fact that students can have access to information much more easily, and it can also be a vital source to develop an individual's research skills. Okay, so this right here, this is the steps to writing an IELTS-based opinion essay. It's very simple. So if you follow the steps that I said, so you'll do very well. Especially the introductory paragraph. It's the most important one. So all you do, you have a paraphrase question, then you have your thesis statement, then your outline statement, and then for body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, you have your topic sentence, explanation, example, and then the concluding paragraph, use summary of your main points, state your opinion, boom. Here we go. Okay, so you're done. All right. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can ask me in class. But yeah, and I look forward to reading everybody's essays. All right. So thank you very much.